Thank you so much for coming today. Who here is ready to fix our roads? We got a good lineup of speakers. We're going to send a message to the legislature today. We're going to unveil a proposal, and at the end of this, we're going to see some progress on moving forward with a transportation package. I'd like to invite Mr. Matt Cate, Executive Director of the California State Association of Counties, to begin our press conference.
All right, Matt.
All right. Hey. How many of you had to dodge a pothole or ride over a rickety bridge to get here today? So it's been a year since the governor called for a special session on transportation. It turns out it hasn't been very special. Because while a few legislators are calling for action, everyone else is sitting on their hands. We've had enough. Everyone agrees that the roads are broken and the bridges are failing and that we're losing jobs, but no one's doing anything. So that's why we're here today. We've been meeting with legislators, and we hear from Republicans that we need to have reform before we have more revenue. And we hear from Democrats, we need more revenue, and then we'll have reform. Well, it turns out they're both right. We can do reform, we can do revenue, but what we can't do is wait anymore. So we're here today to break the logjam. This group of labor and business, county supervisors, mayors, city councilmen, all coming together, totally different perspectives on some things, but we all agree on this. We've got a proposal that will work. And so here's what we've done. We've taken the best ideas, the 13 reform ideas from Republicans, and we've said, fine, let's streamline it. And we've also agreed you can't take money that came in for transportation and spend it on something else. So we're agreeing with that. But here's the other thing. We also we're offering 7 new sources of revenue to build back our roads, our infrastructure, our bridges, and to get people back to work. Political bickering and grandstanding has us on a crumbling road to nowhere. The reality is everyone's right. But when we talk to them, we hear the same answer. We think it's too hard. Well, is it too hard for your families? Right, it's hard on them. Is it hard for the leaders who are trying to fix the roads and keep the citizens safe? I think it's harder on them. Is it harder for the citizens in Stanislaus County where they got a bridge they can't even let school children ride over? That's hard on them, right? So I don't have a lot of sympathy right now. Do you have sympathy right now that it's too hard? Fix our road! Fix our road! So, what will it take the legislature to act? A bridge collapsing? Some other unspeakable tragedy? We think the time is now. We urge the legislature, the governor, the leaders to come together. They've come together on other issues this year. They can come together on transportation. Lives are at stake. You're going to hear from labor leaders, business, government who want to get this done. Thank you for being here today.
All right.
Fix our road! Drive our road! Fix our road! Drive our road! Fix our road!
Okay.
Fix our road!
My name is Dennis Michael. I'm the mayor for the beautiful city of Rancho Cucamonga, and I'm also honored to be the president of the League of California Cities this year. So welcome everybody here to this rally. In March of this year, there was a poll taken by the Public Policy Institute dealing with the condition of our roads. Almost 70% of our citizens, our likely voters, said we need to spend more money on our roads, not only for the quality of life for our communities and for our people that live in this beautiful state and work in this beautiful state, but also for the economic vitality. If we don't have good roads, businesses aren't going to come here. They're going to leave just like they've been leaving for a number of years because of the lack of infrastructure in this state. This is a time for us to start fixing roads. I don't need a poll to tell you how upset our residents are in my community about the condition of roads as they travel across this state. I'm not angry. Their people are very upset. Now they're getting upset more than I've ever seen before about the condition of our roads. And that is a result of the inaction of our legislative elected officials to fix this serious problem that's only going to get worse unless we take action. These people back here that have all these beautiful hard hats on, they're the ones that are going to impact the fixing our roads, doing the maintenance, building new highways and building new roads, but they can't do it if we don't supply them the money in order to get our roads back to the condition that we deserve. Our citizens, our drivers on our roads are spending almost $800, and in some cases in Northern California, around San Francisco area, almost $1,200 a year just in repairs of their vehicles because of the conditions of our roads. That's in 2016. What is it going to be in 2018 if we don't get something done now? Our city in Rancho Cucamonga, of 170,000 people, has lost well over $1 million in road revenues over the last 3 years because of the reduction and the loss of revenues due to the state's inaction. The legislature and the governor both have no doubt heard our cries, and now it is time for us to work with them as in a partnership to get this thing moving forward and get our roads back to the condition that we deserve in the state of California. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Richard Forrester, Amador County Supervisor and President of the California State Association of Counties. Amador County is a fairly conservative county, as some of you might know, yet in 2015 our board voted unanimously to support the governor's package for a gas tax increase. That's how important it is to us. We know it's the right thing to do, and I can tell you from talking to my constituents and residents in the county, the noise level is going up because people are getting tired of the conditions of the roads. We've lost billions of dollars in transportation revenue in the last 20 years. We've lost thousands of jobs statewide. Our roads are filled with potholes. As you can see, our bridges need to be upgraded. In the latest local streets and roads needs assessment, Amador County had the worst roads in the state. That's not something that I want to be proud of. I want our roads to be fixed, not just in Amador, but across the state. Transportation funding can repair our roads, add more jobs, and improve our quality of life. Senator Cannella, who has been an advocate for fixing roads, said yesterday that in compromise, the Republicans have to take a hit, so the Democrats have to take a hit too. Well, the drivers are taking a hit right now on their vehicles as both sides to continue to argue instead of act. On average, people are paying an ever $760 a year in maintenance costs on their vehicles because of the condition of roads. So no more passing the buck. We have the framework for a deal. It's time to take action. Legislature, pass a transportation funding package now. Fix our roads.
Good morning. My name is Leticia Perez. I am a member of the Board of Supervisors in Kern County. Thank you, thank you. My humble but glorious district sits in the poorest congressional district in the United States of America. And the impacts on my constituents are deeply profound. We are, as you know, the backbone of California's agricultural economy, but what is more, we have become the backbone of the statewide renewables industry, as Kern County produces now 50% of California's renewable energy. But this work is done mostly on rural roads and on rural parts of Kern County in an 8,200 square foot mile county. The impacts to the workers, the impacts to those delivering goods to the marketplace cannot be overstated. This is a disaster. And it is only growing as the people who have been charged with taking action sit by and argue and do nothing about it. This is unacceptable. It is not okay. We will not stand by and say, please, that it is okay to put this off until next year's budget or the budget after or the budget after. My constituents who are simply trying to put food on the table for their families will continue to foot an even higher bill because our legislature could not come together in a bipartisan way. The group that is here today represents the absolute best of us in California. It is the public sector, it is the private sector, it is folks from all various political backgrounds, personal beliefs, and ideology. But we have come together today as the best of California because our people in this great state demand action. I say, let's give it to them. Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Rob Lapsley. I'm president of the California Business Roundtable. I'm here today representing over 16 million employees for small, medium, and large businesses who are in the private sector in California who have to get to and from work every day. Let me say, on behalf of everyone who's represented here today, thank you for building our economy. Thank you for what you do. Thank you. Without you, California would not be where it is. But now we got to move forward. We have over $1 trillion economy. We have jobs that we have to grow for future generations. We have a green economy that needs to be built. You are the ones to do it, but you have to have the funding and the tools to get it done. So we are here today to join as part of this coalition for the business community to be able to say the solutions are in front of us. Now we need the leadership to make it happen. It's time. Without it, our economy will not move forward. Without it, we will not grow jobs in California. Without it, California's economy is clearly at stake. So let's get it done, and we're proud to help make it happen. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Mary Rotelli, Chief Operating Officer of Teichert Construction. I'm here today representing the state's construction industry, an industry that's on a starvation diet because of the lack of infrastructure work that is projected due to these declining transportation revenues. Our industry employs 210,000 Californians. These are good-paying jobs that are held by many of the people you see here today. Our employees buy goods and services. We pay taxes. We help grow the economy. So yes, let's talk reform. Let's talk revenues. But let's also talk about protecting jobs. It's time for the legislature to act. The future of our industry, the future of California is at stake. Thank you.
Robbie Hunter. I'm the president of the State Building Trades. We represent 400,000 construction workers. 58,000 of those workers are apprentices. All those apprentices come out of high schools in California. We are the workforce that have built this state. We build the airports, we build the harbors, we build the skyscrapers, we build the industry, entertainment industry, pharmaceutical. One thing we have not been working on is roads. The funding has just not been there. Without that, the business of this state and the commerce of this state fails. Jobs fails, our tax base fails. We need to drive the economy, we need roads and transportation. We're here, we're ready to build that transportation using the least amount of workers, do it in the least amount of time, do it once, do it right, on to the lowest bid. We just need the funding. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Bob Alvarado. I'm the Executive Officer of the Northern California Carpenters.
I'm also the chairman of the California Transportation Commission. Yesterday, in Stockton, we voted to adopt the 2016 State Transportation Improvement Program that cut $754 million in previously programmed projects. That funding was slated for new roads construction. That was a vote the commission didn't want to make, but it was a vote that we had to make because of declining gas tax revenue and funding. Just as an example of what one vote will do to the economy of the state of California. $3.1 billion reduction in total economic output, 16,700 jobs at risk, $1.1 billion in lost personal income, and $125 million in foregone local and state tax revenues. The Fix Our Road Coalition has released its list of specific provisions taken from the proposals by Democrats, Republicans, and Governor Brown. We think our roadmap to consensus list offers a way to forward a legislative solution. Along those lines, I want to personally acknowledge the governor for his budget proposal and also recognize a handful of legislators who have put in hours and hours of work to try and move the package forward. Our guest on the balcony, Senator Jim Beall. Assemblymember Jim Frazier. Senator Anthony Cannella. And other Republican members who have introduced reform proposals. All legislators need to step up now. I'm calling on every member of the legislature to take our transportation crisis seriously and agree to find a solution for the overall good of our economy, the business, and the residents who live here. The state of California is our house. The movement of people and goods and services are the foundation of our economy. Our foundation is failing on our house. It's time to tell the people in this house to get off their ass and go to work. I'd like to now invite Michael Quigley and Will Kempton up, and we'll take questions.